not easy, because I cry some night, and sometime soon I get home, I pray to God.
So many doors are closed. It's hard.
Either my life is going to turn around for the better, or it's the graveyard.
Sleep an hour or 2 hours, and either you wake up because it's cold, or you just don't feel like you're in a safe place or something.
They appear daily in cities and towns all across our land. With few material possessions, often only the clothes on their backs, they wander from town to town, many from street to street, all struggling to survive. Hollow faces, empty of expression, etched with discouragement and despair. A segment of society whose rapidly growing numbers staggers the imagination. Men, women, and children with no place to live, no place to go. They are the homeless, the people who live among the shadows.
The company that I was working for, they started to lose a lot of their business, and then time eventually came where they just said, well, you know, we have to cut down on people. So I was one of the first ones to go, and you know, at this time I was living in an apartment, and you know, I had a car. In fact, I had just gotten a car, and the guy that I was living with, that I was sharing the apartment with, he let me stay there as long as I could, you know, until the manager found out and said, well, you know, either he's got to go or you both are going to have to go. So then I said, you know, I didn't want my friend to get kicked out or anything, so I said, well, you know, I'll go ahead and go. And I was just basically just out walking on the streets.
You go from one place to the other to buy a cup of coffee until your money runs out, and everything seems hopeless because you don't know what to do. It was the first time for me. I didn't know what to do.
Walking the streets, period, is your feet get tired for one, and you just walk and you walk and you walk past the places that you know, inside them, asking about possible work. Has anything materialized? Can you put me to work somehow? And you go to that end, and then you work your way back, and nothing happens.
You just probably, you know, you just go from one bus station to the other, you know, until the security guard runs you out, you know. When you don't know anybody, you know, you go to the bus station, you try to sit it out until the next morning to go look for a job.
Mainly during the day was when I found my sleeping hours, when the sun was shining down and I could be relatively safe out there on a lawn chair or something, you know. And thankfully never got picked up by the security, the hotel security or anything like that for whatever they wanted to charge me with for being there. You know.
I slept in a place called the Walk-In one night, and it was just a large old warehouse that the city owns, and I slept on the concrete floor, and it was very dirty, and the people there were, a lot of them were drunk, they were intoxicated, and very filthy.
I had went over to a friend's house, but I did not know that he had went out of town. And there was nowhere else to go. I didn't even have bus fare, you know. So I sit there on the porch, and eventually I went to sleep, and about 4:30 I woke up, and I was, you know, just shivering, teeth clanking and everything. And I walked around until daylight.
That's scary. It's really scary. It's just, you know, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where you're going to be, you know, if you're even going to wake up the next day. You know, you just, you just go to sleep wondering, well, is somebody going to come and kill me, or, am I going to wake up, or what's going to happen to you? Am I going to get taken to jail? Am I going to get mugged? Whatever. It's just really scary because, you have nowhere to go. You find yourself a place underneath a bridge or whatever, and just, hope that nobody bothers you.
Everyone I know has been mugged once or twice. I never have, but I know many that's have fell victim to it.
I ate for about a week at this little hamburger stand. The woman there was very, very good to me. She let me hand out flyers for her, put them on cars and stuff for $4 an hour. And that involved a heck of a lot of walking in itself. So I had to tell her, I'm glad you're out of flyers now because my feet are worn out. But she kept me in a hamburger a day for a week, about a week there. And of course I had to stay around that same area in order to do this, and I felt like I was getting nowhere. So I had to tell her that I just had to move on. I may see you again, thanks.
Drifters, castaways, hobos, a part of any society, unable, unwilling to assume responsibilities common to daily life. Today's new poor. People. Ordinary people once defined as America's middle class, no longer merely dropouts of society, out on the street, out of work, skilled at jobs no longer available, with families to feed, mortgages to meet, exhausted savings accounts, and 1,001 other reasons, forced to let go of the American dream.
The hard times and the pressure and my $500 a week salary dwindling down to $150. I saw my truck go first, and then all the other material things go. And I'm big on material things, and that's probably one of my downfalls, but it just hit me below the belt to see all those things start going, and my way of dealing with it, I guess, was through alcoholism.
I had a good home. I had a family, wife, 2 kids, and my involvement with drugs destroyed that.
People that kind of had the same thing happen to them that happened to me, where they had a job, and had their little home and things like that, and just all of a sudden, it's just like the bottom just dropped out, and they had really nowhere else to turn, just to be, just be out of the streets and trying to survive.
To me, it hurt my pride because first time in my life I'm asking people for help. I mean, stranger, not my friend. Not even my friend. I never had asked him for help or nothing like that.
I've never had anything like this happen before to me in my life. Never even dreamed that anything like this would ever happen.
In this land of plenty, where golden opportunities abound, the homeless are fighting a battle to keep their heads above water.
People out there just, some people trying to go to work, some people are just, I don't know what they do, they just run. They run.
Every now and then you'll run across a guy I say is just like I am. He's just out there. Doesn't know why, doesn't know where, and doesn't know what's going to happen the next day. He's just out there, and I'm afraid for him just like I'm afraid for me.
You have to be motivated enough to say that you don't want to, fall in that state, in that state of mind. You always have to say, I'm going to keep looking, I'm going to keep looking for a job, and, I'm going to keep trying,
I never give up. I never give up, and I'm just waiting for something, anything right now. And maybe the business that I'm interested in will have an opening for me, and I believe it will very soon. But until then, I've just got to take something. And I'm willing to do that, and I'll be perfectly happy with that right now.
I'm not here for you to give me something. Just give me the opportunity to get it on my own, and I will.
With no money, no job, no nothing, no clothes, no nothing, what would you do? That's a good question.